know that I do. Hey, know that I do. Hi everyone, hello. Okay, we are telling your followers that you've started a live video. Perfect. So Instagram is sending out their notifications. Know that I do. Do what you got to do. Okay, let me just send out some notifications here as well. Know that I do. Hey. Hello everyone, what's poppin'? What is going on? Welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Welcome to another Stay Planted program. I'm your girl Antoinette. It has been a while. I know. Just want to thank you so much for coming on. If you are just joining, I'm asking you please to share this live while I do the same. Yeah. The voice of DJ Nicholas and Jason Mighty in the background. This one is entitled Dance Off. But guess what? Tonight, since we're on the whole topic of dance, guess what? Hey, of course, and you know I can't pronounce your name, don't. Janine, I saw you. I am impressed divine. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on. Thank you. I'm missing you. See, I'm missing you. Yeah, I know. I saw your messages and said, yo, Antoinette, what is going on? It's that heavy band chaos. Oh, chaos. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming on. So let's do this. Welcome to another Stay Planted program. Guess what? Tonight I will be talking with the professor himself, the professor of dancehall. He's also a director, a film producer. Yeah, he's a entrepreneur, you name it. He is a philanthropist. Tonight I will be speaking with none other than Orville, or should I say Professor Orville Hall. You have to put on some title upon the man name when you're talking about them. You can't just say Orville Hall. And if you know who Orville is, hey, you learn for sure. Shant Henry, Shanna K. Guys, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys so much for coming on. If you know who Orville Hall is, then we know, say, we have to put on some title upon the man name. Anyhow, just before we jump into that, just for persons who are just coming on and for all the new followers that I have received in the past couple of days or weeks and I haven't blessed you up, and thank you so much for coming on. I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. I do appreciate it, and I sincerely hope that you send me a message and let me know what's going on, all right? And just want to remind you as well, if there is anyone that you would want me to actually, Daddy of Many, exactly, Tamara, that's what I say too. If, Tamara, you just interrupt Mr. Chuck. And if for any reason you guys want to see some or hear the story of some persons, and you want to say, you know what, Antoinette, I would love if you get this person on the show and just to chat with them or whatever the case is, send me a message and I'll try as much as possible to make the link and see if we can actually make your request. No. So with that in said as well, another housekeeping. I just spoke to Orville. Where is he? Okay. Just another housekeeping thing. Yes. Planted but needed water. It is available on, let me mute Nicholas for a bit. It is available on Amazon. It's also available on Book Depository. So if you type in UK Book Depository or just Book Depository, you will be able to receive the book. So you can also get a copy of this. Persons have been asking as well, why do I call this show Stay Planted? It is simple. Success is deemed differently by everyone, right? What you think success is maybe not be the same thing I think success is. My version of success is moving from point A to point B. If you're able to do that successfully, then boy or girl, you are successful. That is my thing. But Stay Planted was designed, it's a spin-off from my book Planted But Needed Water, where we motivate, we encourage, and we fuel persons who actually tune in every single Wednesday. We get persons who are deemed successful in whatever capacity, and we have them share their story. Because yes, you probably see them in the limelight or whatever the case is, but how did they get to where they are? There has to be some level of journey, right? And Stay Planted go into details with this. This is something that we do. We actually create the platform for them to talk the things them. And of course, without at their dispense, of course, they actually talk about it. But without further ado, let me get this man on right now. All right. So again, tonight, if you are listening right now for the first time, are you on for the first time? Let me see. Are you on that? Yeah, you are. Okay, just make sure that you send me a message and then we'll chat afterwards. I am terrible at responding to message, but I'm working on it. I'm still under construction. I am still under construction. All right. So if you're on right now, please share this conversation. And again, thank you so much for religiously coming on every single Wednesday. G98 FM want to bless you up. Definitely, I know you're tuning in. Roots 96.1 FM. This chat will, or this testimony will definitely be featured on these programs every single weekend again. And it will also be on my Planted But Needed Water YouTube channel. So, yo, right now I am so starstruck. You know why? Let me just start the things, because we have a legendary in the place. Actually, we are talking right now. Yeah, man, a living legend. Yeah, man, the boss of the boss, the daddy of all daddies. And let me tell you, the philanthropist, the datrapreneur, the professor. And we're not talking about just capital P, we're talking about all caps. Okay, all caps professor. He's a director, film producer. He is a damn comedian. Did anybody know that? Wait, we're not even gonna go through that. He appears serious, like is one of them tough guy there, but is like one of the sweetest person you can find. And if you don't believe me, Google him right now. Go to Expressions JA, anybody from Expressions, find out from them. They're gonna talk the things, them not hold nothing back. If you don't believe, anybody who actually have any form of encounter with this man, you will know some now make up things. Normally me exaggerate, but not tonight. We don't play them game there tonight. All right, so without further ado, Professor Orville Hall, thank you so much for coming to the platform.
Oh, wow. Antoinette, yo. You have me so flustered. Big up yourself.
Thank you. But it's true though. It is true. Yo, let me tell you, just before we jump into the meat of things, right now, Orville, the first encounter with you, I met you several years ago at TVJ. I was the production assistant for Religious Heart Talk, and we were doing that. But you had an event. I think you have some. It was Dancing Dynamite. That's when that was coming on, and you were one of the judges. And this was no joke. This man don't know me from Adams. I yes, have seen him all over the place and everything. And I just went up to him and I was like, hey, how everything? You good? And only one thing him said, yo, everything blessing, man. And up until this day, every time you hear Orville, everything is always blessed. How everything is going? Always nothing now going for him. It blessing up. It is blessed. And during my research, that was one of the things that I found out as well. And I'm like, why is this man so blessed all the time that he has to be on the show? And then when I've interviewed some persons who we are mutual friends with, everybody has some amazing things to say about you. And I just want to big you up. I want to take this first 5 minutes to dedicate this to you because I want to tell you now before I see you or before you're gone. I don't want to scatter the roses when you're gone. I want to tell you that you are admired, you are loved, you are respected, not only because of the moves and the way you can go on with yourself sometimes. Let me be serious now. Not because of all of that, but because of the work that you have been doing, the lives that you have been changing to people who maybe encounter you or for persons who just see you on them screen or hear your voice. You have been doing a phenomenal job. The DMs that I've been getting when persons say, oh, Orville coming on? Okay. Like them have to stop everything and COVID have to pause. Yeah, because you're coming and you're going to take over. You're the big vaccine right now. So I'm just saying, thank you so much for everything that you have done. Thank you. So now that is out of the way.
No, is how we have on the same color. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that we've not formally spoken since you called me like a while and say, are you ready to go on? And we realize we're wearing the same color. That's a wow moment. That's a wow moment.
That's a wow moment. That's a wow. This has never happened. Never happened. And I've been doing this for quite a while and what can I say? Some of your greatness rubbing off on me. I love it. And them kind of vibe I want to catch. Them kind of disease I want to catch. Them goodness.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. Orville Hall. Who is Orville Hall?
Orville Hall and Mr. Kenneth and Miss Laurel's second son. the youth who grew up. I was a very reserved child.
Yeah.
I was very reserved. We grew up in humble beginnings. We grew up poor, but I had parents who were great motivators. Really truly great motivators. My mother is my best friend, so some people that call me a mama's boy.
Nice.
But I learned some values very early on in life, and there was a time when it wasn't a good thing to be called a mama's boy because of how some people view it. But I am so happy that I'm a mama's boy because it taught me the valuable things that it taught me is how to respect women in general.
Yeah.
Is how to appreciate the fact that the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. So we have to pay strict attention to the kind of relationship we have with our mother and the women around us. And I learned very early that I am lucky with having women around me because I feed from their energy, their maternal instinct, just the way them things are done with women. I realize that male ego can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Very early I realized that male ego can get you in trouble. So I stayed planted around women.
I love that.
Yeah, man.
So it was from Continue.
Yes, Antoinette, you were saying.
No, continue. I almost interrupted you. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, man. So is from an early stage, I realized that um what what moved me, what gave me a voice, I grew very shy. What gave me a
Yeah.
voice was dance. Dance gave me a voice. Dance is what I was always on top of the world when I danced. And this was from early. This was my first dance competition that I won. I was 7 years old. My brother took me. I remember him come to the house and said to my mother, "So I can borrow him, my oldest brother. So I can borrow him because some youth up the road are dance and them are going like them bad. I know my brother better than them.
I love that.
I won my first bottle of soda, and he he was very instrumental in my development as well,
Yeah.
because as an older brother, he was out in the world. And when I started going out there to parties and stuff, me used to see him at some of them party there,
Yeah.
and just how he conducted himself and the respect that I had for him. I stay in line because of my brother. I stay in line because we grow in a community where it was easy to deviate from the path that your parents set you on. Because your parents generally set you on a good path,
Yeah.
but be pressure on the people you grew up around. So if it wasn't for the love of my mother and the love of my parents generally, then at no point in my life I ever felt the need to embarrass my parents. You know what I
I
mean?
love
So
that.
I always,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the back of my brain, I try to think about the things. Remember, you grew up as a youth, and
Yeah.
as a boy child, you'll get caught in a certain things. But I think my parents helped me to stay so grounded that the kind of trouble where the average youth would get in, I wouldn't get into it. Because my mother was a mad woman. So, yeah.
Yes.
And she prepared herself to raise our three male children. So,
By herself.
it wasn't by herself. My father was
Okay.
always there. My father is still there.
Okay.
But
Good. Good. Good.
he's the silent type. I think we get the reservation from him as well. You know.
Nice, 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 nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you some. Let me ask you some, Orville. What was school days like, boy days like for you? So I know you started dancing from 7, and you were
Mm-hmm.
in pretty much in your brother's footstep, but you were still scared about certain things or getting involved in certain things because you're afraid of mommy. I mean, you know how
Mm-hmm.
that worked. But how was it though for you as a little boy going to school? Did you know that this was really what you wanted to do?
No, I wouldn't. Whenever I wasn't able to work out exactly the path I wanted to go on, because we were
Yeah.
truly a family that was wondering where the next meal will come from.
Tell me, that's what I want to hear. What do you mean? Explain that to me.
All right, so that is a jack of all trades, but
Yeah.
is a man who believe in the earth. So he's a farmer.
Um,
So the back of my yard, there was always food. There was yam, there was cocoa, there was planting, there was my father just plant up the back of the yard. But
yeah.
his what calmed him the most was him to just jump on him like a bike and him ride go up into the hills and him just find somewhere
Yeah.
and just start farm. Because we grew up in the Mullines Road area. Red Hills is at the top of Red Hills is up the road from where you just take the hill and go up. So he would look different places. But what
Yeah.
we used to say, what used to hurt me, like used to break my heart with my father, is the fact that some of the places he goes and find the place, chop out the place, plant up the place. Soon after, developers come and take over the place. So a lot of things when planned get torn down.
Oh no.
You good? Oh.
Oh no.
You good again?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. You just went off a while ago. So you said developers came and everything that he actually had just went.
Yeah, man. So this broke my heart for him because he's somebody who believes in growing your own food and
Eat
eating
what you
from the
grow.
earth and all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So it was a joy, and one of the things that I realized when I got older is that it's not, we don't see a whole lot of families, mother, father staying together for
Yeah.
children in the inner city. But my parents still together today. You get what I say? So we came up with family values.
Love that.
We came up with a whole heap of family values. And my mother always run a shop. And the thing that I admired about my mother is years later when you stop, for a moment you can stop and look. My mother ran a very active shop, one of the first in the community where we live. See? My parents settled in this community in 1962. That's the year when Jamaica get independence.
Independence.
Cut out, they brought running water into this community. The first sound system was string up in this community of my father. So when people hear my name Orville Hall, the hall is dance hall, Orville Hall, yeah, is not a hoax. It's not a hoax. My father's nickname was Dancy. So they were the community dancers. If you see my mother and father drop legs, that them call it in them days when them drop legs. Yeah, man. My mother would tell me stories about the fact that when she was pregnant with me, my father used to just dance for her sometime at night time, dance till him sweat. And then when him finish, him say, all right, me done dance for mother and child now. So
Just so.
Just so. So we grew into a family where there was a whole lot of love, but they
I
were
like that.
in a hard time. In
like
primary
that.
school, there were a lot of hard times, which was maybe 2 miles from home. I'm not really good at distance, but it's a nice little distance. We used to walk to school. We used to walk to school, and I remember there was a time in our lives where my parents never have lunch money for give away. So we had to walk to school. Lunchtime, we would run from school, run come home. I remember I tell you about maybe 2 miles, run from home, get something to eat, and run back to school. Try to reach back to school on time for before the
For the other
lunchtime is.
session, yeah.
And there were days when we reach back at school, we vomit up what we eat.
Because of the rush.
Yeah. So it was me, because my older brother step out of home before us. So it was me and my younger brother, who I'm a year and 11 months older than. So we grew up very close. One very interesting thing that people don't know, or some people know about it, is that myself and my younger brother, we have never had a physical altercation. Enough people say, oh, two boy picnic for grow up in our yard and never fight it. What do you mean? Nope. We've never had a physical altercation. We grab up one day and my mother pathway with a broomstick. Yeah. And then she said to it, all right, you can't fight him, but me I go ref. I may go use a weapon on ref. So you decide where to go. The woman running with a broomstick and give it to the two away. We have never even went close to that. So my brothers are my best friends. Like, rate my brother them on a different level. There is no malice, no animosity. We have never been down that road. We don't know what it is like to be down that road where we have some differential. We not talk and no, we don't know about that. We don't know about that. To this day, me and my brother play like kids. To this day, we still play like kids. So I think it's your humble beginnings that like my childhood was very colorful because my mother used to, she had a beater, you know. She had a beater. She had the one way. She had the one way when anything go wrong, she put on the beating. So she put on the beating and then she slap you a little later. And if she give you a hard punch in your back or one shove down, she come and she slap you later. And she say, you see what you cause, you see what you make me do. but that woman,
Yes.
you know, she used to carry me go town with her when she go market. But the thing
she
is,
was a higgler. She was a higgler. Or she
no, just when she go
no, just a
just when she
shop.
go shop. But let me tell you what my mother did.
Okay.
And the first time me fight at school, I mean proper fight at primary school, my mother was, you ever hear the term crash program worker?
Crash program?
Yeah, crash program was a thing in the 70s. I think it went over into the 80s. It was a thing in the 70s where the people, so like how you see people are sweep the street now?
Yeah.
It was called crash program work in those days.
Okay.
So she was one of them that sweep the street, and she would, you know, when them tired, them sit down on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
When we leave school, we would stop with her.
Yeah.
And we would sit on the sidewalk with her when she sweep the street and rest. And a youth from school that drive past in our bus and say we sit down out there with our mother, and the next day when we reach a school, this youth start tell everybody say our mother crash program work. I have people laugh after when I say our mother do crash program work. No, my mother was me prouder. We not care where she do. Yeah man, you get thump in her face, man. Quick and fast. Yeah. So when I run them through that. But again, the woman that she is, as she tell us, said, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
Let them talk. Cause we're proud. We're proud.
I know.
She used to have a thing. So in our yard we'd have soursop tree, ackee tree.
Yeah.
I remember the days when it got so bad that she would have pick her soursop and thing and put in a little pan and would have walk with her, go down to the housing scheme, and should have try sell the things so we can get something to eat. And it used to, like, we used to walk beside my mother and just bawl. Every time somebody tell her no. Every time somebody said, no, we don't want anything, move from the gate. So we used to just walk with her and see them something there. And yeah. Open the door so you can come out. Yeah. So it was.
Yo, that's serious enough.
And I think
that's
why.
Serious. And you say you used to. Yeah.
For me, that woman remains my best friend. Like, I used to talk to my old lady about everything. And the way people talk, the way I talk, sometimes people say, them think my mother grew away alone. But my father was always there. But like I said, my old man is the provider. Yes. Him are the talkative type, but let me tell you, he man make sure so the food dead.
Yes.
He used to do construction work, he used to work on scaffolding, he used to do all of them things there. So he go out, go work, him not sit down, he's not a lazy man.
He knew his role and him playing part, even though he's not. Yeah, I like that.
So him a doing thing. And I can tell you this.
Yeah.
My father, all right, like I've never seen my parents. Like the other day we have a conversation with some friends seeing, and them a talk about them parents and seeing them parents in compromising positions, right? I may have said, boy, I feel like would have passed out if me see that. The way my parents is careful, the way my parents is careful with me, I have never seen my parents in a compromising position, and I have never seen my father raising little finger off of my mother.
But good, that is good. And hence the reason why you're the type of man that you are right now. You understand?
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
I was no said there must be something about you. Hence the reason why you're groomed the way you are right now, Orville. You understand? You
So,
are one of those activists that you say, yo, man is supposed to lick woman, man is supposed to shout for a woman and everything. I followed some of your conversation as well. And people, for persons, I just remember Bartender. If you haven't gotten the chance to watch Bartender, he is the film, he is the director, he's the writer. He's the man behind all those talents that you're seeing right there. All right? He is the nurturer. I'm telling you. So if for any reason you're wondering why, so now I understand why you are the way how you are, where
yeah,
that
man.
is concerned. But I feel like, yo, humble begin. So you cried every time you actually saw your mom selling, and every time she said no. Anytime you hear no.
Yeah, man.
So
No,
from them time that
talking
you say,
about
yo, you're gonna take over, you're gonna do, you're gonna make
yeah,
sure say you're gonna be happy, and yeah, once you get, I can't imagine so you couldn't wait for get big, don't
for real. Yeah, man, for real. For real.
really?
For real. Yeah,
You're probably saying, oh, I can't wait to get big because my situation must change, something must happen.
yeah,
So at what
yeah.
age did you start launching out into all these things that you're doing right now? When did you decide, say, you know what, I am actually great at this, I am the best at this? Nobody can beat me. Me the king. At one point, knowing you not say that. You don't say that enough.
Yeah,
And that's one of the things that I respect about you. Your body, your move, and your action alone say that for you.
yeah,
But at what
yeah.
point did you decide to actually take it here? When did it really happen?
I think all of this came about it was after secondary school.
Yeah.
It was after secondary school. I knew I wanted to be in entertainment. I knew I wanted to dance, but the journey from when I finished secondary school to when I actually started was it was very challenging,
You want to tell
extremely
me about that?
challenging. Huh?
You want to tell me about the journey from secondary school? Or me I
All right.
fast too much?
So no man.
Okay.
The end of my primary school years was a little disappointing for me because my thing that my first chance, my first trial at common entrance, I failed.
Okay.
And my second and my second trial, I was sick, couldn't get common entrance. So I am now on my way to Edith Dalton James Secondary School in Duhaney Park. See, my younger brother passed for Calabar. See, now may I tell you about the 18th. Automatically, when my brother passed for Calabar, all attention turned to him. Now, me tell people this all the while. It was no fault of my parents. We live in the ghetto. A youth were passed here high school from the ghetto.
It's a big
Listen,
deal.
this is the child that is now on his way to make the family proud.
It's a
See?
big deal. Yep.
So it's a big deal. The people in the community help get him ready for school, buy school uniform, buy him geometry set, so the focus was there. Saying I held nothing against my parents, but going to Edith Dalton James, 1980, when the election, remember, sorry, the election, one of the most
Deadly election that
deadly
time there.
election in the history of
Yeah,
Jamaica.
yeah, yeah,
See? When you talk about Edith Dalton James, you talk about Brook Valley, you talk
yeah,
about Newark, you talk about Sherlock Crescent. Those
yeah.
are the communities and the
That
youth them from
surrounds it.
them community come out. Yeah. Edith Dalton James field, the field that we had sports on was a battleground sometime. We depend on the field there, play football and we just hear beer gunshot start fire and the man them a run from New Haven come over. And a bolt where I feel a bolt. Who did talk about Jesus your owl? You never know that all along?
Hey, when you gonna leave me? When you gonna leave me, my legendary alone, you know? Leave my legend alone. Yeah.
So, it was I started deviating from the straight and narrow at
Yeah.
that point because a whole heap, like, I mean, but it opened to a whole heap of things. It
Right.
opened to badness, it opened to womanizing, it opened to a number of things. And
Yeah.
I deviated from the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
When I graduated from Edith Dalton James, my parents could not afford CXC subjects. So I took SSC, which is a secondary school certificate.
Yeah.
Out in the real world, nobody takes that. The first time you put on the paper there in front of somebody when me go look at job, the girl literally laugh out.
That's true. Cause you're not carrying
I
away.
was, yeah, man, I was
Them time.
extremely embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, so I end up, my first real job was as a shoemaker, repairing shoes. That was my first job.
Permission to laugh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But let me tell you something. That boy a bad shoemaker, me tell you that. Me a bad shoemaker. Yeah, but
I didn't know
it
that.
was so listen how this repairing shoes set me on a path now.
Okay.
My best friend at the time, Mark Hudson, is who introduced me to it because there was a tradition of shoemakers in his family, right?
Yeah.
So while I'm learning to repair shoes, Mark was now teaching me how to make a pair of shoes. So it was a simple two material shoes where the top part that comes over like this and the back part. So we said, whoa, this bad, we can actually do this. So we start learning how to make the little slip-on shoes them now. Little slip-on comfortable shoes them. But Orville now, who is always at Edith Dalton James, is where I knew how good I am as a dancer. Every lunchtime, when you hear the noise at the cafeteria, Orville in there, I entertain people. That's the first time I won a big dance competition called All Schools Boogie. So a peer dance, me a dance, peer dance, me a dance. Anytime my mother go to school for anything to do with Orville, he's okay now, he's doing okay. But him always a dance. If him reach late for a class after lunch or after break, it's because him a dance and him there somewhere entertain the whole place. So when we left and we got our little shoemaking gig and I start learning how to make shoes, I said to myself, say, Mark, suppose we start look some little gigs for advertise them shoes here. Like do some little dance something or some little modeling something. So we can tell people, say, we make the shoes them where we are modeling or where we are dancing. So we started a little group called, what would they call the group again? I think we call the group Sage. Simple, adventurous, gentle, something with the word sage. So we start now, look like a gigs. And we are modeling little shoes them. So me decide to take it one step further now with my virgin. I said, I want to learn how to make shirt.
Nice.
A lady named Annie G. We have a little designing school. We save up a little money. I will go to the lady and say, we want you to teach you how to. So we couldn't afford more than, I think we did that for like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
We learned how to make the shirt without color, because color hard for make. So we start learning how to make little round neck shirt them. And
Yeah.
we use bamboo. We used to cut the bamboo them to make button, just to make it look unique. So now, because of that now, we are now encouraged to look more shows. But it wasn't a dance group at the time, it was more a fashion group.
Yeah.
But we do fashion with a little dance flair in it.
Mad.
And we started adding more dance flair to it until the dance aspect of it started to get more prominent.
Yes.
So that is when the little dance thing started to grow. And in the 90s, in the early 90s, we started seeing more and more people saying, them look at you to your body, you know. Them look at you to your can do them thing, you know. And a guy called Michael years ago decided, say, you know, I want to manage, you know, I want to help you to fuck up on the road. But we were so consumed with the actual doing of the shows and the preparation of the shows.
Yeah.
We were doing a lot of promotional shows, but he was collecting money. And we didn't know until somebody told us that this is what he was doing.
Oh,
There
no.
was a breaking up with that. And 1995, somebody recommended me to be a grooming instructor for Tasty Talent competition. That was the
that is a big deal. That's huge right there.
I don't know what it was to be a grooming instructor, you know.
But you learned.
I didn't. Me not know, you know, but them ask me, you can't. Me say, yeah, man.
Yeah, of course.
PhD talent competition. You mean the something going out across road where the hundreds of people stand up and so I say, yeah. So if we know people like Beanie Man came out at TST, Mr. Vegas came out at TST. So I was
a lot of the local artists. Yeah,
man. I was responsible for grooming some of these persons. Now, when they explained to me, say, what you're really showing them is stagecraft, how to work on stage and rate. Now, these things for me, natural. Them come to me natural.
Pause that. Guys, I want you to take a note of this section that Orville is saying. I want you to take a note because there's a journey right here. And just in case you're wondering, how is it that he is this powerful? How is it that he's a legend? I want you to take note of this section, please. And just this is the reason why we have this show called Stay Planted, because every week it is supposed to inspire you. It's supposed to motivate you. You're supposed to be able to learn from these journeys. Okay, so I want you to listen to this part. So you didn't know anything about being a grooming person.
Yeah.
Bless, my daughter knocking on the door wanting to come here. I'm not opening the door. she is 2.5 years old going 40. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry. So you said you didn't know anything about being a grooming designer.
No, I didn't know about it. But I was prepared to learn. So I started asking questions.
Right.
And when it was explained to me what I was supposed to do, I was saying, that? Okay. So I was able to explain to people what they should do on stage based on whatever they brought. If it's a poem, if it's a song, if it's a dramatic piece. So very early I realized that I truly have a knack for moving people on stage. So I jump off on it and I was respected because persons I worked with came in like everybody, whether or not them placed at a competition.
Yeah.
They felt that they were empowered and they learned something more about using the stage. And what was interesting is that I was teaching myself things as well.
I was
because
just
some things that came to me that I passed on to persons just came to me in the moment.
Yeah.
But then I lodged it in my head.
Yeah.
Now, in 1995, when I was doing this, it was 3 years, 2 years, 2.5 years. I
Yeah.
was working with a company, and if somebody show me one day when them say, this is what they ask for yours, because they ask the company for my salary. So them tell the people, them say, we have a grooming instructor and he's charging us this. Them are pay me this. I'm gonna say, wow. Wow. You know?
Yo.
And 1997, mid 1997, I met Kenny Saman. He was the head of the performing arts department at XED at the time. Well, wasn't the head, he ran the Performing Arts Society. So that's like a club. It's a club at XED Community College. So it was just a club at the time. I'm sit down and I reason with Mr. Saman one day. I tell Mr. Saman, say, boy, you know, say a whole heap of things me doing at entertainment. I love it, and I love Ray, because he called me to help him with a program. And when I sit down and I reason with him, Mr. Saman said to me, say, the truth is, you will never earn until you have something to show. You will never earn. People will always exploit what you have. The fact that you don't have a piece of paper to show that you are educated formally in this thing.
Yeah.
So the new journey begins now.
When you decide to go on educate yourself, qualify yourself.
Weighing the pros and the cons now.
Yeah.
Orville, you're out here. I also met Richie Stevens in 1997. Now, Richie Stevens was one of the persons who believed in my talent, gave me a couple shows to do, asked me for choreograph some things that he was doing on stage. And I did a video for him called Whop Them and Flap Them in 1997, which was very popular. So, are you going to break this new popularity that you have to go back to school? Or are you going to continue on this path? Because now, so I broke in the middle of this popularity. I say, you hear me?
Yeah, get yourself qualified. Yeah.
Never try for the school thing here.
No. So couldn't you juggle both of them at the same time, Orville?
I wasn't thinking of that, but it eventually happened.
Okay.
It happened naturally because, listen, the new thing that I was faced with is this. Getting into college with no CXC subject. So, I said to Mr. Saman, one, when I have no money. Two, I don't have the required CXC subjects. How we ever start this out? I sit down and I bleed out my heart to the brethren. And I said to him, say, Mr. Saman, I'm not stop respect the brother till the day. Him know anyway. I said, Mr. Saman, do you think you could speak to these people for me to teach a part-time dance class in the program for earn my tuition for do this thing?
Just like that, you just come up with a proposal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now here the barrier will have to break down. The institution Excelsior is a Methodist institution. And we are talking about dancehall being taught in a Methodist institution in 1997. What? What? So now Mr. Saman, I forgot to them with how potent can this be when dancehall is being sold all over Jamaica as the most bawdy, the most crass, the most underrated part of our culture.
Culture, yeah.
So now I have to formalize something
Until
to convince them. That's one.
that is gonna
Two,
work. Yes.
two. I have to beg Mr. Salmon now, say, can you sneak me into the program without the CXC? And I promise you I will do them while I'm there. So when I time to show the youth them record, it will be there.
So this is your marketing, guys. Take notes. So this is your sales skills from watching your mom and everything,
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
this is everything coming into place. So that's why I keep saying, guys, every situation that you find yourself in, it is a learning process. You never can tell when you might use it. So this is it right here. So
Yeah,
you're
man.
pretty much selling yourself into where it is that you want it to go.
Yeah, because I was now listen, I'm never afraid to tell people my age and them something. Me at 32 when I start college, you know.
So what's wrong with
Me at
that?
32. I sit down in a class with 16 and 17 and when we sit down, me feel intimidated because a
That,
peer pick me around me. I say,
that's what
whoa.
makes you dignified. Guys, if
So
you're
me
not
say to
following
myself,
any of us right now, please hit the follow button and follow us right now if you're not doing that.
yeah, man,
That's
make
what
sure
makes
people
you
understand.
dignified.
So I sat there humbly with these
Yeah,
kids,
yeah,
and this is now 1998 when Orville said, let me run in,
yeah.
focus on this thing, and see what I can get done. Even though you feel intimidated with them young youth around you, fresh out of high school and Ray. So now, guess what fell into my lap again
Why?
from outside?
Why?
Orville is called to choreograph all the dances that went into the National Stadium when we were campaigning for France 1998 World Cup.
We're talking about when the Reggae Boys went to the World Cup.
Went to the World Cup.
You were the one.
Every month, I was the one that was running out on the field in front of 30,000 people. And I tell people, say, Bogle not performing in front of so much people. No disrespect. But I was
Yeah, no,
doing that
yeah.
every time they went into the stadium. Before my name was known as Orville, it was the Rasta and the Girl them. So I had 30,000 people. I make nice when me run out with the females them behind me in a yellow track suit.
True,
And I
true.
dance up a storm. Bogle was in the stands watching me. With all due respect, because he was the king of the streets,
Of
I
course.
started working my way to corporate Jamaica. No, I am now balancing school and this.
Yeah.
And there's only one thing I can remember. The fact that me tell Mr. Salmon said, if you get me into this program, I will not let you down.
Love it.
If you get me into the program, I will not let you down.
So again, another lesson, having a accountability partner, making somebody hold you accountable. You said, this is it.
Yeah,
I want to do this. So
yeah,
I'm sure Mr. Samanaga said, but you say you're going to do this. So why is it that
yeah.
you're not doing this?
What do you mean?
Right?
And you have
So
to hold yourself accountable as well.
100%.
You have to hold yourself accountable. So the program started as a certificate program.
Right.
And it was about 10 of us in the program. We were the guinea pigs.
Yeah.
No, you have to make the certificate program work for the school to look at you.
Yeah.
Because remember, we were just a society before. We were a performing arts society, a club. But now we're formalized and we are now a part of the school system. So I finished my certificate program first in my class, and they use us as the first graduating batch to write the diploma program. So it is us moving from a certificate program to a diploma program. Now, the minute they got the diploma program off the ground, we jump in at the diploma program too. And I did the diploma program. So now, I am now part-time teacher, student. As soon as we And we stayed there. I remember, I was motivating the little youth them around me too, when somebody youth them want to drop out of the program, This is
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
were doing at EXED, because the mandate at EXED is to ensure that you get kids from the community. That is why it's a community college. So
Yeah.
we were taking students into the program, and they were using the blueprint that some of them came into they were using me as
The
the
example.
target person to say, Orville came into the program, never having CXE, did his
Yes.
CXE while he was there, and got through and graduated. So we were now taking students into the program. Now,
It's true.
right throughout this time, we had issues because we were taking in, because it's performing arts and because
Yeah.
it's youth from the inner city, there was always a tuition problem. $25,000 for your tuition, $30,000 for your tuition, but them can't find it.
You can't find it.
So no, between myself and Mr. Salmon and Patsy Ricketts, who was there, we started keeping concerts in the lecture
Concert
theater.
just to offset that. I remember that. I heard
Yeah,
about that.
we take that and we pay some of the youth them tuition. We make sure say we are saying no, now fall by the wayside. All I'm not gonna graduate. You have to just decide for walk out of the program for us to not help you. But as long as you're there, we do all we do. We do cake sale, we jerk chicken down at the department. Everything we do. Down at the thing there, down at the trailer them. And we were close to the dumpster. So we were treated like some little wayward people down in the corner, because people still saw performing arts as extracurricular. Nobody saw it as. So me said we have to change the face of that as long as me up on the campus here.
And you did that.
Yes, man. We hold the batch of students together and we graduated our diploma batch, me being a part of it, and immediately them said, all right, let's start writing the associate degree. And we wrote the associate degree and we got it accredited, and I jumped into that program as well. And I complete the associate degree, top of my class as well. And that is when EXED took me on as a full-time teacher. Me breathe through all of them and I hold some students and draw them with me. I said, listen, we have a point to prove. We are not extracurricular. I would like to walk into some schools and tell them, say, this is an absolute career choice and you must feel proud. Beat your chest and say, I am an actor, I'm a dancer, I'm a playwright, I'm a director. I must be able to do that. Me the first person graduate. I don't think they've ever done it at EXED again. I was a double major. I graduated as a dance and drama major. And still I try to figure out how many balance the two of them, because once you're majoring, man, you're always long, A whole heap of hours you do for get the two of them, And I graduated as a double major. And I stayed on. The first ever dancehall course outline that exists in Jamaica existed at Excelsior Community College that I helped to write. The first institution that had dancehall in it was that Methodist institution that gave me the chance to show them that we can formalize dancehall.
Yo, and you wonder why people praise you so much and go on over you so badly? This is what I'm talking about. And guys, if you know Orville, he's not one of those type of persons to show boast and say, yo, because of me, why this happened. He's not that type of person. And only because on this program, him can't help but me have to draw him out.
Yeah.
So that's the only way. But when you're good, you're just good. You understand? And I respect you, the drive that you have, the way how you sell yourself into it. And yo, I didn't know that. I didn't know about that. So thank you so much for sharing. And again, this is one of the reasons why I kind of number one want to talk to you before the show, because I don't want to hear things I'm not ready for hear yet.
Yeah.
I want to open my spirit to learn and to enjoy, just like these persons who are on the live right now. So Orville, from there, you have been a philanthropist. You have been taking people, even though you yourself needed the support, but you have Mr. Salmon that you talk about right now. You had him, and plus you had your parents as well.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Your support system. It's important.
Yeah, man. Patsy Ricketts is my mentor. You see that woman, Patsy
Yeah.
Ricketts? And people, if you Google the name Patsy Ricketts, you'll find out that she was one of the lead dancers in NDTC. A small-bodied Rasta woman that changed my life.
Yeah.
Because when I took dancehall to Excelsior Community College, that was my only focus. That was my only focus at that time. And when Patsy Ricketts see me dance, she said to me, say, dancehall alone you specialize in? I say, yeah. We carry Exed go. We won the Marcus Garvey Award. The Marcus Garvey Award at JCDC with 12 students. 12 students in our batch. And we won the Marcus Garvey trophy. The year when we do that, we couldn't believe it because we were rehearsing dance with, well, we can't say it no, but we have 12 students and we enter dance with 16 and we're going to borrow students from the high school. Whenever they get dance with we. And we did not have space to rehearse more than 5 dancers in our trailer.
Yeah.
And we rehearsed outside in the dirt. And we went to, because to keep our stay at Exed Community College, to keep our stay, we had to start doing things because the school started to see us as a burden. We were paying the teachers, and them keep asking to write the program bigger, but the students are not able to pay their school fees. So now we had to be winning trophies at JCDC. So Orville choreographed dance, a write play, a write poems, and I enter everything. So when we start bringing the gold medals now on the school seat and say, we have students on television doing commercials, when people want hire our students over Edna Manley students, the school started to say, whoa, they're visible. When we go festival, it's a big deal because it's Orville and the Exed crew. So we were now able to earn our stay in the institution because we were now doing what performing arts was supposed to do. And we kept them on the map. And we had students who were graduating, and we had students who were stepping out and getting teaching jobs in schools and getting into other areas of performing arts that the school could look at and say, this is making sense. And Patsy Ricketts was the one that said to me when I went to festival one year and dance, and I was getting I got a call from Monica Lawrence, Dr. Monica Lawrence, another instrumental person in my life, to be a part of Stella Maris Dance Ensemble.
Whoa.
And I had to sit with Patsy Ricketts because you know, I forgot we're tight.
Yes, you're gonna have to wear the tights.
Remember, say the inner city I come from, you know. Remember, say my brethren them. You remember, say my brethren them a sniper, you know. Remember, say my brethren them say, "Youth, where you do? What do you mean? Wagwan." So
there's some serious prayer and fasting you had to go down in.
Yeah, man. So now, Patsy Ricketts, remember, Patsy Ricketts said to me, say, you truly have to be a student of your craft.
So did you wear the tights?
But we wear a thing called jazz pants. And a jazz pants, me asked them if they can make my jazz pants with a little more room in it than the average jazz pants were holding into the body. So, you know, we compromised a lot. But let me tell you something. What Patsy Ricketts said to me when she said to me, say you have to be a student of your craft is something that I repeat to a whole heap of young youth. There is no way you can consider yourself a dancer knowing just about one genre of dance.
Yeah.
One style of dance. You can't know anything about dance if it's just one thing. So you now have to be able to study and appreciate other dances, even if you don't plan to do it, but you should be able to speak about it.
Right.
And I learned about ballet, even though I can't execute all the things they do in ballet, but I can speak the terminologies that they use. I learned about modern contemporary, I learned about our traditional folk forms. And I realized that it made me a far better person and a far better dancer. Because now you have a repertoire, you have things to pull from.
Exactly.
You can speak dance when you go away internationally. And I became a part of Stella Maris. I choreographed a dance for Stella Maris that was a part of a World Folk Festival in Spain. I traveled with them to Spain to represent Jamaica. And when I came back home and Monica Lawrence offered me a junior choreographer spot.
Nice.
And a principal dancer spot in Stella Maris. So again, people started, make some of my roughneck friend them come sit down and watch Stella Maris dance ensemble do them season of dance, and had some roughneck youth appreciating it. Because one of the things we realize in our society is that we're very classist, so we're marginalized. We're going uptown, and if downtown people don't know about it. We're going downtown, a lot of uptown people don't know about it because we live in a kind of classist structure where downtown is downtown, uptown is uptown. So I wanted to bridge that gap. You know, some of my tough neck friend them come sit down in a little theater and watch how dance have a different level than just dancehall dance. And them did appreciate it. And them did rate me, and them did say, youth, yeah, I can appreciate this. I can appreciate this. And I was able to take that and impart that kind of knowledge to the persons that I started associated myself with. You know, namely Stacey Expression, Shelley Expressions, who are the foundation members of Dance Expressions, because they came and they saw me perform with Stella Maris, and they were a part of the XED family as well. So they saw how I could take things that I learned there and bring it to them, and they were able to appreciate that. So it is, the breaking up with XED was only because when we started to formalize the dancehall curriculum, they didn't want to call it dancehall. They wanted to give it another name. Urban contemporary folk or something like that, I may say.
Yeah.
I think it's time we start appreciating what we have.
Our own culture, yeah.
Yeah. That it's dancehall. It's dancehall. And that's what we want to put out there. We don't want to put something out there called urban contemporary folk or whatever it is. We want to put dancehall out there.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel the need to work with anybody else. I wanted to start my own institution where I was free to put dancehall out there, because I wanted the stigma to go away that dancehall is just girls going upon them head top and a gyrating or some raunchy looking clothes.
Yeah.
So me take Shelley, Stacey, Shireen, Amoy, and I said to them, I wanted to promise me one thing. Get an associate degree. And from when I get the associate degree, then we will go out into the world and we will show them who we are. But we want to go out there educated. So if you're out there dancing a batty rider, on the field for go pound head and ray, and somebody want to say, oh, idiot girl them that. No, come talk to them about dance, and then you'll know who they are.
I like
so
that.
If you see them on them head, if you see them on them head, it's because they choose to do it. Because they're showing you what dancehall is in the field. But ask them anything or ask them to show you a traditional move, they'll do it too. Ask them to show you a modern contemporary move, they'll do that too.
I like that. I like that.
Their specialty is dancehall.
I like
so
that.
So if their specialty is dancehall, it means that is what they are going to study. Just like how people used to marginalize Kumina.
Yeah.
Them call it Orville working dance, them call it Ray, them call it Blay, and people do them PhD in a coming now. So we have a society where you first have to be cognizant of the fact that you are going for this. And the
Yes.
minute we can tell everybody this on the live, the day you decide to travel a certain path, prepare for the problem.
It's true. It's true.
The day. This is why you have to be mentally prepared,
Yeah.
because the problem is there as a design of, it's a natural design of life to
Yep.
test if you're strong enough to finish the journey.
I was just about to ask you, how is it that you decide that? Why didn't you give up when you realized, say, yo, this is gonna be harder than I thought? And I'm glad that you're actually answering. You're answering all of my question then before me ask you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If it is within the law,
Yeah.
if you go to your bed thinking about it and wake up in the morning thinking about it as first thing, that's what you should be doing. You should go on my bed and think about dance and wake up and think about dance. They don't dance for dance.
Yeah.
I dance for dance. I started thinking about dance when even my father, who was called Dancy, didn't think that I should do it. Because him loved me and him loved the fact that me can dance, but he did not see dance as a career choice.
Yes. Not until you made it one.
And him never believed I should have take it on, because it's not that him hate dancing, and it's not that him hate me as a dancer, but why you take on that now and listen. I had to show my mother, my father, say, listen, see this thing where when you used to even cuss me for and say, you cannot do this because it never, and it's not what they wanted to say. It is because the thing to do is wanting to be a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer, a this, a that. You get me? This is not one of your everyday career choice. How are you going to make a living from this? So when me leave XZ and say, me go see if I can start something for myself, I had a number of friends that didn't think that it could work. You go teach dance, like you go open your own dance studio. Like how you gonna work with that? The first place me get a Savannah Plaza, the man never believed, the man will rent me the place. His daughter ran a dance class in there. And he stopped her from in their notice because she couldn't make the dance class work. So when I went there with the same idea, I said, how long I say him daughter stayed there before I move her? 3 months.
Whoa.
You know how long he stayed there? 3 years.
Whoa.
And moved into a bigger space.
Whoa.
Yeah?
Whoa.
Move into a bigger space.
Whoa.
When I was paying $80,000 to rent that place, it is unheard of for a dance studio
to be come up with that amount of money, $80,000 for dance.
I mean, I tell you about 2010 to 2012, when to 13, yeah, 2000.
It's a lot of money them time.
So may I tell you, say, I decided that it is going to work because I am going to formalize this. I started the first dance hall dance studio in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
The first dance hall dance studio. And it is out of starting that and advocating for dancehall, for people to see dancehall in a light where it is a positive thing and it can be a career choice. That is when people overseas started to say, I would like you to come into my country and talk about it. Yeah, because I see a lot of people dancing dancehall, but nobody is able to talk dancehall. And somebody need to know the theory of dancehall. Somebody need to be able to link dancehall to something, because uptown people and people who don't know about dancehall don't like dancehall because it was not associated with anything. If you knew that many of the dancehall moves that we're doing came from our traditional folk forms, then maybe you'd have more respect for it. Yeah. So we have to have it planted in something. We have to have it rooted in something. That is
Yeah.
what I did. That was my journey. My journey was for you to see that dancehall don't stand alone. So I can show you that dancehall is coming from somewhere so you can have more appreciation for it.
Yeah. You know what I respect about what you are actually teaching me tonight, Professor Hall, is the fact that even persistency, you put a
Mhm.
different level, a different meaning to persistent tonight. And I must say, hats off again to you. I'm reading some of the comments, guys. Thank you so much for staying on, and thank you so much for the love and support. Yeah, man, he is definitely a legend. The fact that you are doing all of this and with support system, yes, but you're not doing
Mhm.
it just for yourself. You're not selfishly doing it. You're
No.
bringing total strangers with you, and your
Mhm.
intention and your goal is to make a difference. That's your purpose, and you have been
Mhm.
doing that from the get-go up until
Yeah.
this point. Up until this point. And I must say, I respect you. I love the fact, I love the work that you're doing. Guys, if you're not following Orville, please hit the follow button and follow him right now. If you're not following me, do the same as well. I love the fact that even in your conversation right now, you're encouraging us to stay planted.
Yeah, man.
One,
Yeah,
one,
man. It's
two other things to ask you. Do you have any
Mhm.
regret with everything with everything, the way in which you were brought up, or the fight? Because I know working in the industry, the media,
Mhm.
there's a lot of fight. You have to stand your ground, and you have to know what you want, and you have to decide, say, okay, whatever you want to say, make a do it just the same. People bad mind you and
Mhm.
want to fight you out regardless. But do you have any regrets? Is there anything that you would want to say to persons who are even thinking about doing the same thing that you're doing right now and have some form of reservation? Because I must say, Arville, me not have a entourage like you. Me not tough like you. Me not strong like you. Me not have the discipline like you. Do that. What
Oh,
would you say to those person?
no. Like,
Yo, take
If
notes,
if if
people.
yeah, man. Even if I come across as tough to people, I was never always like that.
Yeah.
Um, there has to be a lot of introspection. Like you have to look at yourself because some of the times we become our own enemies, we become our own demise because we deflect so much. So what we want to tell the people in the life, always do introspection. Because some of the time you are the issue and there's something you have to change about you rather than pointing the finger at other people.
Personal
So
autopsy.
yeah, man. So if you don't do a lot of that, then you might find I wouldn't change nothing at all because it it's always a learning experience. It's always a learning experience. And I realize if you if you get to a certain stage too fast, that's when you become the monster
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know how to handle it. So it's an absolute new space. What I love about my life is how I humbly graduated to the different levels. So I didn't jump a level. I graduated humbly, whether it be formal graduation or just a graduation. You're born 2 times in another life, you know. 2 times you're born, you know. There's your biological birth, you know. And the day you find your purpose, the day you find out what you need to do to motivate others, that's your second birth. That's the day you know, so I'm set on this journey, and no matter what, it has nothing to do with money. Somebody told me once when me charged them for dance expressions. So you know what you are charged for you and dance expressions, you can charge for yourself as an MC and Ray. And I have never taken up that offer. Because if me I eat, the people around me have to eat too. Because I saw me grow. Me I talk about crackers and sugar and water for go with bed. But my parents make sure that
I'm
they are all
sorry,
of us.
I got a call. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I
You're
can
hearing me?
hardly hear you. Okay. Alright. I am so sorry, Orville. Can you hear me?
That's okay. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing
I
you.
am not hearing you.
Okay.
Alright, let's go. Come
Yeah.
again.
Are you hearing me now?
Okay. I hope this is better. Guys, can you hear me? I am having problems hearing.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you, honey. Can you close and come back in?
Okay.
Alright. So I don't know. I just got a call and it just disconnected me from Orville. Guys, I just want to say what a powerful conversation it is. What a conversation it is, right? We're talking to Professor Orville Hall right now. If you're not following him or myself, please hit the follow button. And also, if you want me to follow you back, just send me a message and I will do just that. I will do just that. Orville is talking about the level of persistency, not having the academics behind his talent. And you know what? He decided that, you know what? Despite of whatever it is, I am going to push myself and I'm going to go ahead and get myself qualified in this field. And that's exactly what he did. We're talking about a living legend. And he is he's like selfless in terms of what he does, his daily mission. He's an artist, he's an entertainer, he's a professor, he's a philanthropist. This man is that instead, if me I eat, anybody in my circle have to eat too. And let me take that to a different level. He probably don't know this, but he said people in his circle have to eat. So this man has been going out there for other people who's not in his circle. You understand? And this is, I know this for sure because I work with the mustard seed communities, and these are persons who link with expressions. So he's always in that area. So I know, and I get these testimonies, and I do my research on everybody that I actually get on this show. And he is actually talking about that. Sorry about that, Orville. Can you, let me see if I can hear you now.
Are you hearing me better now?
What is going on? I'm hearing you, but you're a bit low. I don't know why.
You may have to restart the live, you know.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Let me get out.
Yeah, man.